Here's typically what lawyers who understand that they want to be better at marketing look for. And they look for the shiny object and the purple pill. Ben, what's the one thing that I could do to get more clients, to get better clients? And the reality is, and this is sort of what the design on the front of your binder is that there are these 6 areas of leverage in a practice. And the marketing of a practice is a complex problem. That's just reality. In fact, at my meeting last week with my mastermind members, the one thing that we all agreed on was this, and that is that it is becoming increasingly difficult in any media to get good clients. And we'll talk about some of the reasons why, but we all agreed that, this used to be pretty easy. And we were, even 10, 15 years ago when I started to think about this and we got on the internet, it was pretty easy, if you knew a little bit, to get ahead of everybody else. It's increasingly difficult. So there is no shiny object. Those 3 emails I got since I arrived yesterday that says, Ben, we can get you on the first page of Google, or I love the one yesterday. Ben, I went to your website and saw you're not using video, which is like, you didn't go to my website, okay? Those are all shiny object and purple pills. And one of the things that I can do for you is to give you a formula inside your head that you can use to discern whether any time someone's pitching you on something, discern whether it actually would be useful and valuable use of your next dollar. All right, so why is this hard? You know this. First of all, there's just a ton of marketing noise out there. If you kind of start to pay attention to all the marketing message you see, just from the time you get off the airplane to the time you got here, it's amazing. And nobody is listening to your ad until they have a need for a lawyer. So how many personal injury lawyers are in the room? Right? I know we have a handful. Okay. So you run an ad, or print ad, TV, radio, whatever. That guy who wasn't in an accident, he's not even listening. His brain has to shut that down because there's all this noise. There's way too much stuff going on. Unless you're in a position to spend millions and millions of dollars, Geico, Allstate, to build up a big brand. So nobody's listening until they're ready to listen. We're viewed as a commodity. To a certain extent, the ethics rules, which we'll talk about here in a second, almost kind of force that. What we need to figure out, and that's why you have to be in the business of you. So Ron Kramer here. Ron, I've known each other for a long time. Whatever Ron's sort of personal story is to get to where he is and get his practice up to where it is today, and it's a great practice, that's a very unique branding story that no one else in the world has. I have a very unique story. People know me, dad to 9, runs 2 businesses, entrepreneur guy, helps small biz and helps lawyers, and runs marathons. That's my story. And that's how you one of the ways you start to break out of the commoditization path. We've all been burned in the past. Raise your hand if you fell for one of those get-rich-quick schemes through lawyer marketing, right? I did them all back in that stage where I had started the practice but didn't really know how to market. We feel that we are bound by professional norms. Let's learn how to market by watching how lawyers market. So the young lawyer who goes to a lawyer committee meeting to volunteer hears, do good work and they will come. Do good work and they will come. Well, there's no reality in that. There's no objective reality in that. And that is a very, very slow path. I'm not saying that that's not a path, but it's a very slow path. But that's what you hear as a young lawyer. That's what you hear in the profession. There are not a lot of events like this. Usually if you go to a sort of a state-sponsored marketing event, it is as much the pitfalls of lawyer advertising and don't write stupid stuff on Facebook. It's as much about that as it is anything creative. And it's hard because it's hard to find like-minded individuals. So lawyers who are entrepreneurial in spirit, who are open-minded, who are willing to not only test, but to share. That's one of the good things that Great Legal Marketing has going for it, is that by and large, there are no secrets. We, and many, if not most of our members, have an abundance mentality. There's plenty of cases. America is a big place. You know, I got guys in farm towns in Iowa who rock and who share their ideas with their chief, you know, are unafraid to share ideas with their chief competitor in a farm town in Iowa. So we kind of have that mindset. The ethics rules are interesting. Let me just give you this big, broad sweep, is that by and large, you could take the ethics rules and summarize them this way. What you say about yourself or your practice, you have to be careful with. And what you say when you're comparing yourself to someone else, we're going to watch. We, the State Bar, is going to watch. We kind of get around that whole thing. I mean, if the ethics rules are here, we're playing over here in this world, which is the world of I'm going to create and provide information to consumers that actually is useful, that's helpful. I mean, for me to say to you I'm aggressive is not helpful if you're looking for a lawyer. It's just not helpful at all. But for me to create a product that says, here's a free book you can download, how to settle your own case without a lawyer, okay, and to walk you step by step through the process of settling your own case, that's a useful product. And if they have a small case and they can settle it, that's fine. They're happy, I'm happy, they're now a fan, okay, and we'll talk about getting reviews from fans. But when you do that kind of marketing, the State Bar isn't worried about that. It's when you talk about yourself, which is a bad way to market anyway. You talk about yourself is when the State Bar rules apply generally. Now, everything we do, so the lawyer-like disclaimer is, you got to check it out. You got to check out with your own rules. I will say this. I got lawyers in Florida. We got some here, right? My Florida lawyers. That's a crazy state. I got lawyers in Ireland and Australia. The rules there are you can't. You can't advertise, basically. That's what they tell me, okay? But they've taken what we teach and used it to change their practices.